Most Warhammer 40K stories tell you about gods, about primarchs, about legends so vast they barely feel human, but Rogue Trader does something dangerous. It hands you a single ship, a fragile warrant, and says, now you decide what survives, not as a space marine, not as a demigod, but as a human, powerful, flawed, terrified, standing at the edge of an uncaring galaxy. This is not the story of how Rogue Trader became a great game, this is the story of how it quietly became the most honest Warhammer 40K experience ever made, and by the end of this story, you may realize something unsettling. You didn't finish Rogue Trader finished you. The moment you realize this game is watching you back, you think you understand Rogue Trader at first, you create a character, you choose dialogue, you issue orders, you believe you are in control. But somewhere between your first execution order and your first mercy that costs thousands of lives, you feel it, the game isn't asking what choice is correct. It's asking who you are willing to become when no one can stop you. That's when Rogue Trader stops being a game. That's when it becomes a mirror. Chapter 1 The Weight of a Warrant. The warrant of trade is not a blessing, it's a burden sealed in gold. It gives you authority beyond law, beyond morality, beyond forgiveness. Entire systems kneel because a dead emperor once signed your name into destiny, and Rogue Trader never lets you forget what that power costs. Your ship groans like a dying cathedral drifting through the void. Every deck tells a story, of faith, of decay, of obedience maintained through fear. Servitors whisper prayers they no longer understand. Officers smile while hiding terror behind protocol, and then there are your companions, not heroes, not side characters, they are wounded people, bound to you by loyalty, guilt, belief, or desperation. An officer who still believes the Imperium can be just, even as she signs extermination orders. A psyker terrified of their own mind, knowing one mistake could doom everyone aboard. A zealot who confuses faith with cruelty, and dares you to prove them wrong. A heretic who might be right, and that's what makes them dangerous. They don't just follow you, they judge you. Every conversation carries weight. Every silence feels like condemnation. Rogue Trader does something rare, it allows relationships to rot, not just grow, and then the galaxy tests you. A rebellion that began with hunger. A Xenos world that wants peace but threatens doctrine. A chaos cult born not from ambition, but despair. You can be merciful, but mercy costs resources, mercy costs authority, mercy costs lives you will never see. You can be ruthless, and ruthless choices are efficient, clean, effective, until you look at your ship, and realize fear has replaced loyalty. Chapter 1 teaches you something brutal. Warhammer 40K isn't about winning wars. It's about surviving the consequences of victory, and just when you think you understand the rules, Rogue Trader breaks them. The choice that no other Warhammer game dares to ask. There comes a moment in Rogue Trader that no cinematic can prepare you for. No boss fight. No epic music, just a quiet decision point. One that doesn't ask, will you win, but asks, will you live with yourself afterward, and whatever you choose, the game remembers. Chapter 2 Why Rogue Trader understands Warhammer 40K better than anything else. Most Warhammer games celebrate power, Rogue Trader examines responsibility. It shows you something the lore books rarely slow down to explore, that the Imperium doesn't survive because it is strong. It survives because people convince themselves there is no alternative. You are offered alternatives, and they are terrifying. Helping a Xenos world saves millions, but stains your soul in the eyes of the Imperium. Purging a planet preserves doctrine, but turns children into ash for ideological purity. Trusting chaos gives results now, and damnation later. There is no good path, only paths you can endure, and slowly, almost without noticing, you begin to change. You stop asking what is right, you start asking what is necessary. That is the moment Rogue Trader achieves something no other 40K game has. It makes you think like the Imperium, and then asks if you're proud of that. Your companions react. Some harden. Some break. Some betray you not out of evil, but exhaustion. Even your ship changes. Its people mirror your leadership. Faith becomes fanaticism. discipline becomes terror. Hope becomes a liability, and in the final arcs, when the galaxy closes its fist around you, you realize the truth: you were never playing a hero's journey, you were playing a slow moral collapse, or a painful resistance against it, and the ending doesn't congratulate you. It doesn't tell you that you saved the sector. It asks one final question: was it worth becoming this person to survive? Rogue Trader is secretly the best Warhammer 40K game ever made because it does not glorify the universe. It respects it. It understands that 40K is not about hope winning, it's about hope surviving in fragments. It understands that power without limits is not freedom, it's isolation, and it understands something even more important, that in the grim darkness of the far future, the most dangerous thing is not chaos, not Xenos, not heresy. It's a human being who believes they had no other choice. When the screen fades to black, you don't feel victorious, you feel changed, and maybe that's the highest praise a Warhammer 40K story can ever earn.